Greetings and welcome to socialbook.io. For this demo, we are going to be tackling gaming influencers. So if I'm a gaming company searching for influencers, the very first thing I'm going to do is make sure this is set to YouTube and not Instagram. Next, I'm going to make sure that my category is set to gaming, obviously. And after a quick search, I'm going to be shown 99.5 thousand gaming YouTube channels, all who have 5,000 or more subscribers. This is awesome, but it's also overwhelming. It's just simply too many influencers. So I'm going to segment this even further by choosing to only see the channels who speak English. And that is because I speak English, and ideally I would like to communicate directly with all the influencers. So now we have 75.88 channels. Speaking of communication, I would prefer that the influencer be within my own time zone, and I live in the United States. So now I'm only going to be showing the influencers who also live within the United States, and we're down to 18,200 influencers. And that's very helpful because now I no longer have to wake up at 3 in the morning to chat with an influencer who lives in the UK. As far as size of the channel, I'm not interested in any micro influencers for this campaign, so I'm going to choose to only see the channels that have 250,000 or more subscribers. And now we're down to 1,200 influencers. We're definitely getting somewhere here. I'm going to further only see the ones who have been active from the last 30 days and have a public email listed somewhere on their channel. So if the influencer has been active recently, it means they check their inbox. And if they have a public email listed anywhere on their channels, it means they want to be contacted with brand deals. It's basically an invitation, and they won't treat my message like spam. So now we're down to 759 influencers. As far as the audience goes, I'm going to choose their gender be male. This is gaming after all. And for age group, I'm going to go with 25 to 34. And I'm going to give myself 40% of that. The reason why I'm choosing this age group is because this is the age in which someone is usually financially stable enough to make an impulse buy, but still young enough to take their advice from an influencer. So now we're down to 146. This is very nice, but I'm going to start adding some keywords up here. Perhaps the game I'm trying to advertise is an RPG. And now I'm only going to be showing the influencers who specialize in RPGs, and we're down to 44. You know what? Maybe the game is actually very similar to Final Fantasy. Now I'm going to be showing only the RPG gamers who are also familiar with Final Fantasy. And we're down to 13. I don't think we can do better than this, so I am going to go ahead and select all, and then I would just send everybody a mass email. Now that mass email will show it's coming from my personal email address, so not to look like spam. Now if I want to be a little bit less lazy, well maybe that's not the right word. If I want to be a little bit more meticulous, I could go into each profile individually and check out their stats. And if their stats end up impressing me, I could go ahead and click this button to start a conversation. A personal conversation with Rhymestyle. And if Rhymestyle did not reply to me after say 48 hours, I would go ahead and click this button to donate him $1 or $2. And in order for Rhymestyle to collect those funds, he would have to read my message. So it's just another way to get the influencer to notice you. It tends to work pretty well. This dotted green line down here is Rhymestyle's channel's average views, and these individual blue bars are the actual views of his videos. As you can see, it's not uncommon for his videos to far exceed his channel's average. That leads me to believe he's growing in subscribers, which I can now see he clearly is, thus making him a very good influencer. I would probably work with him. But my favorite part of his profile, and probably the most important part of any influencer's profile, is the most engaged influencer section. So why is this important? Well, this section basically tells me, out of all our Rhymestyle subscribers, which ones are also influencers themselves. So in theory, I should be able to contact this guy who has over 160,000 subscribers. His name is D-Free, and start a conversation that goes something like this. Hey D-Free, I hear that you are a fan of Rhymestyle. And D-Free would reply, absolutely I am. I subscribe to his channel, I like all his videos, I'm always commenting and sharing his content to my friends. Rhymestyle is awesome. Well D-Free, we're currently working with Rhymestyle to make some sponsored content on our RPG game. Would you also like to be added to the campaign? And he would say, absolutely I do. When do we begin? Any friend of Rhymestyle is a friend of mine. And that really is how it works. If you are associated with an influencer that they admire look up to and respect, they're way more likely to give you the time of day. In fact, they'll usually work with you at a discounted rate just because they like you. So now I'm going to go down to Defree's most engaged influencers and repeat that process. This guy looks good. He has over 500,000 subscribers. So I'll click him, and his name will be Geekdom. And I'll go ahead and say to Geekdom, "Hey Geekdom, I hear that you are a fan of Defree." He'll reply, "Absolutely, Defree is awesome. I subscribe to his channel." Well, I'm working with Defree to make some sponsored content on an RPG game I got. Would you also like to make some videos? And Geekdom will say, "Absolutely, I do. When can we begin?" So I'll go down to Geekdom's most engaged influencers and repeat that process once more. In fact, I'll just keep on doing that until I have enough influencers added to my campaign that I'm satisfied I can manage efficiently. And that's just one way you can use the search feature to find influencers. So that was a very complicated search, but these searches can be as complicated or as simple as you make them. For example, I could have chosen just to see all of the gaming channels who speak English and have 1 million subscribers or more. So it took me about 15 seconds to make this search, and just like that, I'm shown 1,100 gaming channels, all who speak English and have 1 million subscribers or more, and now I'm sending them all a mass email to see who replies back. So as long as you know who you're trying to reach, as long as you have an idea of who your target audience is, Socialbook can help you get there. And that goes for even the most insanely complicated scenarios. For instance, let's say I have a mobile game that's getting soft launched in Brazil, but we have yet to translate it to Portuguese, so it's still in English. That would mean I would have to target all of the English-speaking gaming channels that have an audience that is primarily in Brazil. And as you can see, in less than 10 seconds to make this search, I'm shown 1,800 English-speaking gaming channels that have an audience primarily in Brazil. So no matter what idea I have in my head, no matter what I'm trying to do, Socialbook can definitely help me achieve those goals. So if you have any questions at all, reach out to Socialbook staff. We'll be more than happy to help you refine your searches and give you some tips and tricks on how to succeed. Our first tip to you, however, will always be to sign up for the Socialbook free trial. If you sign up for the Socialbook free trial, which can usually be found in the pricing menu, you'll get 7 days all access to everything I just showed you, plus hundreds of other features I didn't have time to show you. These include things like campaign management, tracking links, link click data, just tons of options that help you optimize your campaigns. So I highly suggest you do that and you come on Socialbook and you start playing around and having fun and contacting influencers today. Other than that, thank you very much for choosing Socialbook.io. We are more than happy to have you.